Okay, so here we have a Dutch oven that has the leftover grease and the wonderful brown bits from frying some chicken breasts. And what I'm going to demonstrate is how to make a roux. So when you're done eating, and by the way, this I fried in butter. Sometimes I fry it in oil, sometimes I fry it in butter. With the Kentucky Kernel brand seasoned flour, it actually works better in butter. But anyway, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your leftover breading or flour and dump some in while it's bubbling and hot. And you're just going to start stirring it. And because this is a Tefal brand pan, I'm using a wooden spoon. Resist the temptation to use a whisk. Just stir it up. It will start to bubble. The oil interacts with the flour. Turn up the heat a little bit. You don't want it to get real thick, because once you have your roux completed, you can actually refrigerate it and use it as a thickener. And unlike most thickeners like cornstarch or even a slurry, you have to be really careful when you put them in, because if you're not, they will just lump up on you. But when you use a roux, because of all the oil, first of all, you don't use very much, and second of all, it just falls apart and immediately thickens your sauce. Whether it's just a simple gravy with chicken stock, or wine, or whatever, even a milk gravy. Oh, come on. You just don't want to get too much in, because you can always add more. But, I mean, you can always add more oil, too, if you get too much flour. But I would say this is about the perfect amount of flour. I'm trying to keep this video under 7 minutes. Okay, just a little bit more. But instead of throwing away your flour, you know, I don't really have any left now, which is good. You can just do this and refrigerate it, and it will keep in your refrigerator for a long time. Okay, that's perfect. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil, because that actually keeps the butter from burning. Just a little bit. That's good. And just let it stir, or I mean let it cook. There will be clumps yet that are still flour, and just let them kind of cook down a little bit. It'll sizzle. I don't know if you can hear that or not. But you've got all those delicious brown bits from frying the chicken. Those are wonderful. Perfect. Okay, actually I'm going to add just a little bit more flour. I'd love to get rid of it all. But at least this way I just have a little bit to throw out. Alright, no more flour. This is perfect. And by the way, when you're making a roux, if you continue to let this cook, like when they make a roux in Louisiana, for example, they actually make theirs a lot darker, almost a chocolate color. But the darker the roux is, the more you actually need to use, because as it cooks, it starts to lose its thickening power. All right, that's it. And turn off the stove and let it continue to cook down. as it cools. And we've got a perfect roux. So if I'm ever making mashed potatoes, for example, or need any type of a sauce, you just literally boil your broth, which I think broth makes the best stock. Just bring it to a boil and scoop in like a tablespoon of this while it's boiling and just stir it in. You don't even need to use a whisk because it will not lump up. Use a wooden spoon if you've got non-stick pans and you are good to go. Alright, so we're at 5:36. I'm going to shut this off.